Hey, this is Chris. Thank you for checking out our second tutorial in our tutorial section. In this tutorial, we're going to be discussing some of the commonly used 2D sketch tools. This will be a pretty straightforward tutorial demonstrating the function and showing a few examples of how to use the line, circle, and square tools. First, we're going to start off in SolidWorks and creating a new part. So we're going to go to File, New, Part, hit OK. So now that our default window has come up, we're going to sketch on the front plane. So notice on our front plane, this piece right here is the origin, and this is kind of where we always want to draw around. So the sections that we're going to work on today are going to be lines, squares, and circles. So if you see it to the right of this line button, you have a little drop-down arrow. This will give you your different line options. The first option is your general line, and then the second one is center lines. Center lines are also known as construction lines. You want to do center lines when you're creating reference lines that will not be used in actually creating the feature. So let's go ahead and get started by starting with by making a line. I'm going to left click on the line tool. Now you see that the insert line tab is there. I'm going to click on the origin and go vertically up. Click again with my left mouse button, and I've made my first line. Now you can also see that the line will continue to propagate as long as I keep clicking around on different locations. If I want to stop the line, then I can either double click or hit escape, like that. So both forms of the lines can be created this way, whether you're doing construction lines or just general lines. So now I'm going to go ahead and just delete this and we'll start over. Now I'm going to create a circle. There are two main circle types. You have your origin-centered circle, or you have a perimeter circle. First we'll do an origin-centered. So to do with that, we're going to click on circle. I'm going to go to my origin, left click one time, and then drag my mouse button out. You can see that it gives me an estimated radius dimension. So I'm going to drag it out to approximately 3 inches for my radius. Now you don't have to necessarily click on the origin, so if I want to make a circle right above this one, I can go in there also. The next circle is the perimeter circle. So the perimeter circle is used for making a circle around certain points, and it's usually 3 points. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a simple little triangle. Okay. And now I'm going to click on perimeter. So what I'm doing is I want to create a circle that is the points land on this triangle. So I'm going to click there, and there. Okay, so now I'm going to create a perimeter circle. The perimeter circle is used for drawing a circle around 3 distinct points. So to get my distinct points, I'm just going to draw a quick rectangle or a quick triangle, and then hit OK. Now I want to make a perimeter circle that encompasses all 3 points. So I'm going to first click on this point here, click, and okay, so now I'm going to make a perimeter circle. To do that, I'm going to first create a triangle. The purpose of the perimeter circle is to make a circle around 3 encompassing points. So I've got my triangle now. I'm just going to make a circle and I'm going to click on each of the vertices here. So 1, 2, 3. Now you see that it has created a circle around my triangle on each of the points. Okay, so now I can delete this. Let's move on to the squares. If I click on the drop-down menu, you can see that there are... Alright, so let's move on to the squares. If I click on the drop-down menu, you can see that there are 5 square types. For this tutorial, we're going to just kind of focus on the 3. Alright, let's move on to squares. If I hit the drop-down menu, you can see that there are Okay, so now let's move on to squares. If I click on the drop-down menu, you can see that there are Okay, so let's move on to squares. If I click on the drop-down menu, you can see that there are 5 different types of squares. For the most part, we're only going to use 3 of them, so let's go ahead and just start off. We'll start with the centered rectangle. So you click on that tool, and let's say I want to make a rectangle that is symmetric about the origin. I click one time and drag out at a diagonal, and I can sit here and move this to the approximate shape that I want. Now let's make a, well, just for giggles, let's make a line like this. And now let's say for some reason I want to make a square around this line and hitting these 2 points. To do that, I would click on a corner rectangle, click on the endpoints. There you go. That's how you have that. So delete them. The third one is the 3-point corner rectangle. This one is used for applications where you need to make a rectangle that is not horizontal and vertical. So to do that, you create your first point, start right here, and then you come out at a diagonal. I'm going to go to my origin, click again, and then you go perpendicular to the direction that you just went and click again. You'll see that there are parallel relationships between these and perpendicular relationship between those. So at this time, I also want to talk about the Smart Dimension tool. The Smart Dimension tool is the tool that you use to add a dimension to a line, or a circle, or any feature for that matter. You'll notice in the sketches that as I'm drawing these out, so I'll draw another triangle, you can see that my lines or my points are blue. So see this line is blue right here. Also the endpoints are blue. That means it's not fully defined, so I can grab this point and I can move it around, or I can grab that line, move it around. Ideally, we don't want our sketches to be blue at all. We want to have it fully defined. So to do that, we're going to do a smart dimension of my 2 legs. So that one's going to be, let's say, 2 inches and 3 inches. So now you see that the sketch is fully defined and all the features in it are black. So that concludes this tutorial on some of the basic sketching features. We'd like to hear some of your feedback, and be sure to check out our other tutorials. Thank you very much.